Good morning. Well, we're back in Ebbw Vale, and as you can see, we've got the steps covered up where we worked in those difficult conditions. And as I've said before, you can work in inclement conditions if you put the right things in place, and we certainly did with this here. So if you look at here now, underneath here, that's the mortar that we laid on that frosty day. That is absolutely solid. That's not going anywhere whatsoever. That is solid, just absolutely solid. The Mapai adhesive on the back there is solid. It's gone off. It's not compromised in any way, shape or form whatsoever. And the reason for that is that we made sure that everything was dry and it had no moisture. The slabs that we used was dry. We used little water in the mortar that we were mixing. We made sure that we put things in place to ensure that there wasn't adverse water in anything that we was using, because it's the water product, the water particles that freeze. Well, never froze in this case. Well, here we are. We're just getting the sheet off on here now, and you'll be able to see underneath if we've had any sugar compromise with the mortar underneath here. Should have got somebody to give me a hand with this. Yeah, well, let's go straight underneath it. Right, we haven't cleaned that overhang, but look, that's solid. That's solid. That's not going anywhere at all. There's the Mapai on the second set of steps, gone off absolutely perfect. That's solid. I mean, there's no way that that's moving whatsoever. All the mortar joints are solid. They haven't been compromised. Sometimes you'll get on the surface a little tickling from the frost, and that's where it gets compromised. But that's because we put additives in the mixture, and as I said, we made sure that there wasn't a lot of moisture in the sand that we use. Look, I haven't got my trowel here, but solid. It's not going anywhere. Morning, Lee Rolfe. Lee, really appreciate all the following and all the interaction you've had with the channel. Absolutely fantastic. Great point about the camera. Absolutely great point. The thing is, I've got some good cameras there, but the problem is it's getting somebody to operate them, and I can't put a £2,500 camera on site. I'm just not going to do it. So that's the idea of using my phone as I do. Maybe I should change the phone. I have got another couple of smaller cameras that I could be using, but the phone is so much easier, Lee. It's so much easier. Lee, this is just for you. Have a little look, mate, over here. There you are. This is Ebbw Vale. We're back up here now today. I thought it was going to rain today. It still might, but it's not raining at the moment. But let me just show you what we're doing here. So, if you remember, we put some steel in the base, which is going into the Lee mix. So, because we've got a wall to go along this outer edge, we've got more steel again, and we want to tie the foundation in. We've got that, so you can just see the steel over there. Just there, you can see the steel, and that's tied into the sub base, which is a Lee mix, which is 14 inches thick. So it's about distributing the weight loads throughout this area. So now we're going to put some more steel in. Now I'm just digging off on that side. We're going to put more steel in on there, and so that'll be 2 layers of steel to try and hold it in place, and this will maintain the integrity of the perimeter of the patio. We've got the manhole there, which we're going to do something about, but you just start to see the shape of the wall coming around now, and I'm starting to cut the steel, but I'm going to have to cut a piece to go over the top of that as well, where it's opened up to get around the corner. Yeah. I'm just sat here now, and I'm looking at this project here, and it's starting to take shape now, and the reason it's taking shape is because of the sub base. Once you've got a sub base, you've got nice clean areas to work on, and even if it does rain, you're not going to get mud everywhere, traipse and mud everywhere. We're getting the foundation in for the wall now, and hey, it's good, it's exciting. So what I was saying is the other week there was a couple of people on the YouTube video that and not necessarily complained, and they did it respectfully, and I thank you for that. And it's good to have that interaction, but it's never good to lay in the frost. But in my opinion, it's never good to lay products that are wet. The atmospheric conditions aren't good around you, but we changed it around here. We sheeted everything up. We put an accelerate in the mortar, a mortar accelerant to heat up the process. They're not always really good, but in that condition, it actually worked perfect. Now, we've inspected both steps this morning, and both steps have gone off absolutely solid, rock hard, like those Murray's Worthy's original mints. Well, what I want to show you is that we're getting the concrete. Come over here and have a look now, Eloy. We're getting the concrete all the way around. We've got a concrete foundation underneath this concrete, set in steel, and then we've put the second piece of steel all the way through here. You can just see the steel sticking out on the edge there. We have to put so more back in on this bank, so you won't see any of that concrete there. Maybe some shrubs at a later date, but the concrete goes all the way around. If you come over here, the steel on here just poking out there, so we've got steel in here. That's the second row of steel, and the reason for that is we're on the edge of the bank. The ground's compacted. I put 14 inches, 13 inches of Lee mix in here. It's absolute solid. And what I might even do, we've got some steel in the sub base as well, but what I might do as we approach this bit, I might put a piece of steel lapping over that concrete to keep that into position, and then all the way through. And then what you'll find is that the bed of the patio, the laying bed, will hold this foundation in place. Hopefully, we will see.